Hello guys and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. And in this video I'm very excited to talk to you about my top 6 favorite self-help books of all time. Let's get started. Books. I thought about this for a while. I want to talk about my favorite self-help books because there are just so many on the market, and I don't also think that it makes any sense to read all of these books. I heard so many people recommend a bunch of different books throughout the years, and I realized that I did not read that many self-help books actually, but I read really good ones, and I decided to compile a list of my favorite ones that actually made a difference in my life, that actually made me feel inspired, that made me feel really good and motivated, and gave me some knowledge. So let's talk about them. I am calling these books self-help kind of on purpose because they are roughly from the same category of psychology slash neuroscience slash spirituality, manifestation kind of books. They're all slightly different, of course, and serve different purposes. But if you are completely lost, if you don't know what to start with, these are really good ones, and I really recommend them. So let's start with the very first one. It's called The Source by Dr. Tara Swart, and by the way, I apologize beforehand for pronouncing any names of the authors incorrectly because I have no idea how to pronounce them correctly. So I'm just hoping that I'm doing it right. This book was written by an actual medical doctor, which I really appreciate. And this book is kind of a mix of neuroscience and spirituality, which just like is such a perfect sweet spot for me. It has exercises in it. It has really good knowledge, once again, from an actual medical doctor, from a neuroscientist. And this book really inspired me. It's pretty much a guidebook on how to manifest, on how to use spirituality together with neuroscience, how to use the power of your brain, and how to basically manifest, how to, become better, more successful, how to reach your goals. Basically, that's roughly the goal of all of these books. But I really loved specifically the mix of spirituality and neuroscience because I was really interested in neuroscience at the time. I read this book, I think, over 10 years ago, and I later on ended up studying neuroscience. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It is so inspiring, and it has really good knowledge. If you want to use this, you can practically use it as like a guidebook or like a textbook, because again, it has actual exercises that you can do to rewire your neurological pathways, which is pretty much the case with any books, once again, just to be clear on that. But it is really good to become really clear with your goals, with your dreams, what it is that you need to do, how do you want your life to look like, and all those things. It is really fantastic. One of my favorites. Loved it. Okay, this next book is called How to Be an Adult by David Richo, and I remember just how impressed I was after I read that book. This book is going to be perfect for you, especially if you're into psychology and if you are into shadow work. Specifically into shadow work. This book really got me to shadow work, and it is so brilliant and phenomenal. I just wish that every person could read this book. Honestly, all of these books on this list are fantastic, but if you are to only pick one, choose How to Be an Adult, because it is fantastic. It's so grounding, it's so helpful. It's not like condescending. The author is not being condescending to you at all, but it is talking about how to be an adult, how to become more mature, and how to face your shadow, how to understand that people are projecting. And it also has really cool tables that show you what does it mean if you are feeling certain things, if you are feeling jealousy towards a person because of something that they have or whatever else. What does that mean, about you? What does it actually mean? Or if you are feeling a certain type of way, once again, what does that mean? What does it actually mean if we get really into it, to the source, so to say, right? Once again, I just really wish that every person could read this book. Honestly, a person of any age. You can start. I would genuinely think that this book is perfect for teenagers and for adults of any age. It is really good. It's very easy to understand, very digestible. One of my favorites of all time. Absolutely love it. This next book is called You Are a Badass by Jan Sincero. And it took me forever to actually pick up this book because I just felt like the name of this book is so silly. And I don't know, I just didn't really feel like reading a book with that title. I actually ended up loving it so much. And this book made me smile. It made me feel so warm inside. It made me feel hugged and held. This is a perfect book if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling uninspired and you just want to get your spark back. This book, the author does such a phenomenal job of making you feel seen and making you feel supported. So more than anything, this book just feels like a big warm hug that brings you back to life and makes you feel inspired to live this life again. The author has several more books in this like You Are a Badass series. I didn't read those, but I'm sure they're really good as well. But this one, I believe, is the first one. I just really, really recommend it if you want to feel re-inspired in a way, and if you just want to kind of like pick yourself up again. It's fantastic to read in the beginning of the year, I think, or honestly anytime. But like, this is the reason I'm making this video early in the year, is because if you want to start your year right, these are fantastic books to start with. Like, they will pick you up like nothing else. They will inspire you, motivate you, and make you feel really like full of life and full of inspiration and motivation. Loved it. This next book is called Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, and I actually made a full review of this book. I'm not sure if it's already up on the channel or not. If it's not on the channel yet, it's going to be soon. I had sort of mixed feelings about this book, and I will talk about it in a lot more detail in my review, but overall, it has such incredible messages that actually left such an impression on me and changed the way that I think. Like, one of my biggest lessons of 2025 was the fact that happiness is a habit. Happiness is something that you choose to do. It's basically a skill and it's a habit, and it's completely up to you to implement that in your life regardless of your circumstances. You cannot wait forever for your outward circumstances to align perfectly in a way that makes you happy. Like, you cannot wait for that, because you will just waste your life. And this is just one lesson from this book. There's so many more. And once again, this book is a touch outdated because, I believe it was written in the 50s or 60s, if I'm not mistaken. But the author of this book is, once again, a medical doctor. Also, he's a plastic surgeon, which is crazy. But if you want a book that is also about like motivation and inspiration, but is not spiritual, this is the book for you, because it does not talk about manifestation at all, does not even mention the word manifestation once, does not talk about spirituality whatsoever. There are a few references to the Bible throughout the whole book, but that is it. That is it. It talks about basically just the power of your brain, as I like to say it, but the author calls it your success mechanism. Once again, from the more modern perspective, using the more modern language, the power of your brain, basically, that's what that means. The power of your brain, the power of your mind. If you want a book that is a lot more kind of like, I guess, a bit more down to earth, I guess, if you don't want anything overly spiritual, that's the book for you. That is the book for you. But once again, I'll talk about it in a lot more detail in a separate review, so stay tuned for that. The fifth book on the list is called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Once again, I apologize if I pronounce the name incorrectly. Once again, it's a short book that has really, really solid advice. This is a more spiritual book, and it's also kind of psychological. It's going to make your life so much easier if you actually implement the advice from it into your life. And that's obviously the case with all of these books, right? And like any self-help book you ever read. But it's called Four Agreements. There's only 4 major rules that you have to find out when you read the book. And it's really sweet. I think it also would make a really nice gift for someone because it looks really pretty. And it's really extremely uncomplicated. It's very digestible. It's very easy to understand. And I kind of feel like it's perfect for everybody as well, because it doesn't really fall into any strong category. Like, it's not overly spiritual. It's also not necessarily very like psychological. It's not about neuroscience at all. I don't believe that the book talks about manifestation at all. It's just a really solid advice and inspiration for how to feel more grounded and how to be a happier person, how to just move on, focusing on yourself and not like project your issues on other people, not to take things personally, just how to be happier and take things easier. Fantastic, absolutely lovely book. Okay, and the last book on this list, number 6, is called Women Living Deliciously by Florence Given. I talked about this book multiple times in this channel already, and that is for a reason. This book is really beautiful. It's very, very inspiring. It is not so much spiritual. It's not about neuroscience. It's not even so much about psychology. It's just a very beautiful, inspirational book to pick yourself up, to get your spark back, to make yourself feel more strong, I guess, to really help yourself focus on yourself and on your goals and to not be afraid to go after those things, you know? It is really basically about what the title suggests, like women living deliciously. It's mostly about women. This book is mostly for women, right? And it is talking about how to make your life easier, how to make your life more beautiful. It inspires you to bring more life into your life and to make your life more fun for you and more brilliant, because like it's not worth it. Holding yourself back is not worth it. Like doubting yourself is not worth it, because it's not going to give you any price at the end of the day. It's not going to bring you any satisfaction. And putting yourself at the center of your life and catering to yourself, making sure that you're living the most brilliant, beautiful life is so incredibly worth it. And you're going to feel just happier, honestly. Like, I feel like the core of all of these books is ultimately to be happier. So isn't that what we all want? And these are all very, very inspiring in their own unique, different ways. And again, I don't believe that you need to read 100 motivational books to get your spark back in order to feel better about yourself, to feel more inspired. Like, you only need a good few, honestly, depending on your needs. And these are all really fantastic. I believe all of these books could make a fantastic gift, especially Women Living Deliciously, because it's just such a gorgeous book. So gorgeous, especially if you get a hardback. And How to Be an Adult. How to Be an Adult. That's just the most universal one for everybody, because that one is like the strong focus is on psychology. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I really hope that you will check out these books and find them really helpful. If you've read any of these, please let me know in the comments. If you have any recommendations for other inspiring, beautiful books, please leave them in the comments again. Yes, anyways, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you found it helpful and useful, and I just hope you had a good time with me here and you found hopefully a next read. So yes, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one.